today I'm not feeling very inspired. Today I'm not feeling very inspirational. For those of you who caught the last episode, the last video about the zombie bites, I feel that. If you want to know what I'm talking about, check out that episode. In brief, it's these little pulls on our attention that get us kind of wrapped up into energies that deplete us, that are depleting to us. And I wanted to record this anyway, because of what I said in the Zombie Bites episode, where it's like, when you feel yourself being pulled into those zombie bites, instead of falling into them, instead of investing in them, like, turn your attention back to what you know is true. Turn your attention back to your Dharma. And that's what I want to talk about today, because what I'm feeling today is pretty similar to what I heard from my clients yesterday. And we had some great sessions yesterday. I had some great sessions with my clients and worked through a lot of things and turned a lot of stuff around. So I want to offer that to as many people as I can, and also to myself, because once again, we're all in this together. So I need it as much as you need it, as much as we need it. So basically what's going on with me, and what's maybe going on with other folks these days. What we would like is to have a clear idea of what we should do, what we could do that would feel better and that would be meaningful to ourselves and to the world. And that idea of what would be good to do is inevitably colored by our past, by our history, by our collective understanding, our collective associations with everything that has always been, including society as we know it, including the collective agreements that we're starting to see are kind of built in falseness. Any kind of us versus them thinking, any kind of scarcity thinking. We've got a lot of collective gravity around a lot of these false ideas. And there's stuff that we don't even see yet. There's stuff that is so deep that we've invested in and that we've believed in. So with all of that informing our lens, when we're sitting here in the midst of a zombie attack, in the midst of a distressing experience, and whether it is the circumstances of your life, whether it is your psycho-emotional state, whether it's overwhelm at work, overwhelm in relationships, like I'm feeling it as all kind of part of the same thing. It's all kind of part of the same thing, and it's like how they get you, how those distractions, those zombie bites get you, is it works with whatever you will believe that it is justifiable, whatever makes it seem valid to you to give your energy and attention to. So it could be the endless stream of social media, and then your attention is pulled there and your energy gets depleted. Like your aura maybe gets a little smaller. It doesn't always have to be like that. Or maybe it's like a relationship that you really value, and you're investing in the relationship, and that seems wonderful. And you also notice that like you feel depleted. And it doesn't necessarily mean that like full-on ban on social media, and it doesn't mean that you need to necessarily end that relationship, but there's something going on there, right? There's something going on there. And so it seems like it would be a great idea to have an idea of what we should do, what we should do instead, what our life should look like. And that way we could kind of check our work along the way. It's like, are we lining up with our goal there? Or are we creating a lifestyle that's different than that? But that doesn't work. The reason why that doesn't work is because of all of this templating, all of this patterning that is in our eyes everywhere we look. It colors everything that we see. And there's aspects in those lenses that are false. And more lately, more and more of us are getting less and less able to be like that, to live like that. But we don't know what else to do. So we're just in this stuck kind of struggle. So I think we can validate that stuck kind of struggle because it's real. Like, I am actively in the feeling of it. It is happening for me. You are witnessing it. And thank you for your witness. Thank you for your witness. And I witness you. You're going through it too, right? It's like coming at you in perfect ways, in ways that pull your attention and that drain your energy. These like perfect challenges are showing up, and then another one shows up, and then it's just like the compounding effect of it all is another one of those like justifications where it's like it's so much. It's so much. So it doesn't work to try to see from where we are with the eyes that we've got into what we think the future should be, into how we think we ought to live, what our goals ought to be, and then kind of like reverse engineer what we do from there. So what do we do? Like, how do we navigate? You know, like our compass is off. Our compass is off because everything that we see is colored by everything that has been. And everything that has been is so thickly discolored by history and expectation and baggage and fear. So first of all, I think we need to kind of come to that place of acceptance as much as possible. That it's like, not only are the old ways of doing things not going to work, by which I mean like the old systems that we've imbued with authority, that we've imbued with power, be it religion or the government or systems of education. These structures that we've created, they don't have any inherent power, but we do. And we've invested these structures with our power. And so in that way, they function as though they do have power. So we are seeing more and more that these structures, because they were built by us with some of the coloring on our lens that we weren't aware of, that's based in fear, separateness, scarcity, yada, yada, yada. These structures that carry that energy of separateness, scarcity, and what have you, really can't serve us. It's diminishing returns. It's diminishing returns. I've described it before as it's like cashing your coin at the company store. It's like you got to work for that dollar, and then you spend it at the company store, but they keep on raising the prices, but they're not raising your wages. So that's kind of what's going on, just with a lot of the structures that we've built together, and how they are not serving us like we thought they did. So when we come to that acceptance that those structures as we've built them aren't serving us like we thought they were, there's some grief there. There's some grief. There's some anger. Maybe there's anger when we feel like they are doing it to us. Maybe some shame or guilt when we feel like we created this. Maybe some grief just in like, we believed in this. We believed in this. It was what we thought was best. And we did. And we're feeling things differently now, but the whole compass that we would use to navigate is also colored by all of that baggage. So like how do we find something different? How do we navigate? Accept that we're at this point. Witness each other at this point. It's tough. It's challenging. It's strange. It's kind of strange, but here we are, and we're here together. And more people are starting to feel this way. And it's not necessarily a problem. It's not a problem. I actually believe that this is like a step in our evolution as a species and as a society and as individuals. So this is the opposite of a problem, but it is challenging. So once we kind of accept that this is going on with ourselves and with each other and as a collective, and we have the courage to witness ourselves and each other, then let's build a new compass. Let's build a new compass. And what I am recommending to my clients, what I'm endeavoring to practice, and what I'm suggesting overall is that we start to accept that we can and do perceive subtle energy. And what I mean by this is you walk into the room and you know the vibes. Like you can feel what's going on in the room. You can feel yourself these days. You can probably feel yourself when you're in that distracted, confused, low energy, you feel shrunk kind of state. You have some self-awareness there. What do you do with that self-awareness? I mean, from that place, it's you might be judging yourself. You might, or maybe you just let yourself rest. I don't everybody's got their own way of working through it. But you can perceive that state. And then I bet that there are moments when you feel lit up, when you feel expansive, when you feel like juicy and alive. And you're probably going back and forth to some extent between these states. So what I'm proposing that we choose as a new compass, a new navigational tool, is trusting that subtle energy perception. And when we trust it, we get the very next step. We don't get the full plan. We don't get the play-by-play of how it goes from here to the end game. But we do get the very next step by trusting our body, trusting our energy, trusting our connection with our body, and trusting that what we feel is actually relevant information. It's actually wise to consider this information. It might actually be wise to trust this information that's coming from within. And when you get one of those lift feelings, when you get that expansive feeling, that's a yes. That is in alignment with your dharma. That's where the universe is supporting you. So if you can do more of that, do it. Do it. What cost does it come at? I've kind of noticed with folks that to act on these dharmic impulses comes at a perceived cost, such as that would be weird. I don't really know why I would want to do that. That wouldn't make me any money. If I did that, then I'd have to quit my job and I'd have to move out and like, just think of the price of gas. The story just kind of like builds and builds and builds, and then we talk ourselves out of it. And I'm saying that it's like us talking ourselves out of it is like we're participating in cahoots with the zombies. Like that maybe that's not wise. Maybe that's a foolish choice. And maybe it's not actually a foolish choice to act in alignment with what our body, what our essence is giving us a clear yes to. Can I get an amen on this? Like, are you feeling this? I bet you are. Like, everybody who I talk to these days, with few exception, is experiencing something like this. So when you get that expansive feeling, that's a yes. So can you do that? Can you do that thing then? And when you get a no, when you get like that contraction, when it's like, when you're doing the thing that you're supposed to do or that you thought you wanted to do, and you feel drained, you feel shrunk, you feel like duller, like your light is literally dimmed. Can you not? Like, to what extent can you not? And like, I understand that, like, I understand the excuses, like you've got bills to pay, you've got kids to take care of. Like, I get it. And there's a lot of things on the narrative plane that are demanding our attention. And a lot of these things on the narrative plane, by which I mean the ego-based self, by which I mean your identity through your age, your name, your job, your relationships, your place in the world, your socioeconomic status, the clothes that you wear, the language that you speak, any of these, anything that is ultimately ephemeral. That's what I mean by the ego-based terrain. And it's an entire terrain, and we live there together. And when we meet each other, what's happening? Is it one ego meeting the other? Because all of this ego-based terrain is my perception trying to rub up against and come up with some common story with your perception. So we are very far removed from actually touching, from actually meeting, like truly face to face, in terms of who and what we truly are. And so I'm not saying quit your job and abandon your children. I'm saying anything that is ultimately ephemeral, really consider how much weight you're giving it, and really consider where your valuation of it, where your assessment of how much weight and gravity and meaning it has in your life, where is that coming from? Do you love your job, or are you afraid that you won't be able to pay your bills? Because remember, you're continuous with the source of all abundance, and that's true. That's a fact. So if your job is shrinking your aura, depleting your energy, draining your light, making you less than who you truly are, and you are continuous with the source of all abundance, does it really make sense to stay in your job? I'm not saying that that's your situation. And again, I'm not saying that the conclusion then is that you should quit your job or quit all jobs. I'm just saying, like, trust your perception of subtle energy. Like listen to yourself, take it seriously. And I'm recommending that we use that as our new compass as we're navigating. Use that perception of your energy expanding or contracting, of that lift, that like yes that you get, or that drain that you get. Use that to inform the next step and build from there. Because it's going based off of our habits and our expectations and the status quo of our own lives as individuals, the status quo of our society, like that's not working anymore. And if you're feeling these like intermittent squeezes, it's not working for you anymore. And I'm here to validate that. And I'm here to say that like that's what I believe it is, that it's like the status quo isn't working for you anymore, which includes the compass and how you have navigated. And if you are feeling these squeezes, then you are perceiving subtle energy. And if you are perceiving subtle energy, it might be wiser to use that as your navigational compass. And now I want to just take this just a step further. I want to offer kind of a tantric perspective. And one of the Hermetic principles, which I'll probably do a full episode on, the Hermetic principles are really cool. Kind of describe some of the underlying principles that form the structure of the universe. So really, there's going to be some overlap with the metaphysical basics episode. But one of the Hermetic principles is polarity, and another Hermetic principle is gender. And I've got a background in Tantra. I want to take this a step further and just offer that, to my perception, what we're here for, those of us who are feeling this, those of us who are in this awakening together. I feel like what we're here for is to be a part of birthing the new world. And this is the revolution that I've been talking about. This is like the personal revolution where we get to the end of the cul-de-sac and we decide for ourselves that like that road doesn't go anywhere. And we turn around. That's the revolution. Turn around and go back into the flow of the stream. And from that place of being in the flow of the stream, we understand ourselves as aspects of creation and aspects of the creator. And as such, we assume the responsibility from a place of empowerment. And from that place of responsibility, we create the new world that's not carrying those seeds of scarcity and fear. We leave that behind. So, as part of birthing the new world, creation and birth is a dynamic process. It's a dynamic process, and that involves polarity. So that's like yin-yang, positive, negative forces. From a perspective of gender, it's masculine and feminine. And I'm not at all talking about gender identity or even sexual preferences. Everything has masculine energy and has feminine energy. Everything has masculine energy and has feminine energy, including every person. So these when I'm talking about masculine energy, I'm not talking about men. Men and sperm, these things serve as like metaphors for masculine energy. And the female body, the womb, this serves as a metaphor for feminine energy. So we can learn from these metaphors, but once we start telling people that they're only this or only that, or start believing that we're only one thing or another, we're kind of missing the point. So Masculine energy, that's our attention. That's our awareness. And so with all of these like zombie bites and all of these distractions and all of this like continuing to see the same crud on the lens that we've been seeing, this is the masculine under threat. And so what I was talking about in last episode with like attendance to truth, turning your attention away from all of those distractions, being aware that you've been hooked into all of these distractions, like redirect with that like it's like a warrior. That's like the masculine component there. And then the feminine component is taking all that has been, taking it down to the 0 point, and from that void of infinite possibility, that's from where the new world can be born. And the new world is born when the attention and the attendance of our masculine energy, this isn't just men, this is mine, all of our masculine energy is focused on the truth and is focused on divine. Then the feminine is safe to do her magic. That's what the feminine does. It's the magic of death and creation. It's the portals of death and creation, recreation and rebirth. And that's what we are up to right now. That's what we're up to right now. So I don't know how that all goes. I don't know how that goes. I have this sense that following our dharma, which is different for you than it is for me. Follow your dharma, and that will bring you to where you need to be of highest benefit to this revolution and rebirth. And it will bring you to your place of clearest truth. And that's why today, even when I am feeling it, I'm feeling the squeeze, I'm showing up and I'm sharing this because I don't know what this is for. I just feel a lift when I speak these things. I just feel a lift when I connect with somebody who's like, yeah, that resonates with me. And I can feel that resonance. I can feel that. And it's not just like the enjoyment of feeling like somebody's on the same page. It truly is. It's like the vibratory tone is stronger when we share it. And that's so real for me. Like I feel that so much. It's so real for me. And I'm so here for that. I'm so here for that. So I'm going to keep on showing up like this. I'm going to keep on speaking this. I'm going to keep on reaching out with this because it feels so good. It feels so right to speak into this mystery. Like I don't know where it's going, and I don't know what it is for you and how it moves for you, but I'm so grateful to connect with you in some ways just by speaking this. It's like, even if you don't find me on any of these internet places, like I feel you, and I feel this connection with you. And like my brother, my sister, my kin, sometimes I need to feel you, and I need to feel this so that I can keep on choosing to feel it again. And you out there, because we're all in this together and because there's so much similarity, like I bet you feel the same way too. And I am so here for you. I am so here for you. I'm so here for you. Just like reach out your hand. I'm so here for you. I'm so here for this. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of us. I'm excited for the mystery, for the journey of a lifetime. We got a good team. We got a good family on this. High five. Go team. I love you so much. Take care, and we'll see you next time.